Okay, so why am I wearing a suit on a Saturday afternoon? Where am I headed? I am going, I'm sorry to say, to the funeral of a good friend's father. This is my friend Ed. Ed and I have known each other since, let's call it 1973, 8th grade, 35 years ago. We've been friends ever since. And in fact, we've rarely lived in the same town. And he went away to boarding school for high school, went to different colleges, but we have managed to keep a relationship going since 8th grade. And I've been thinking a lot lately about relationships as ongoing conversations. To me, one of the very important ways to think of a relationship is as an ongoing conversation. With friends like Ed, I don't have to start over with him if we don't speak for a few weeks, or a few months even at a time. But we have a number of ongoing conversations. Ed was the person who taught me to speak backwards, believe it or not. And so we have many jokes going back to our teenage years about words that sound particularly funny when said backwards, like reconstituted. And there have been a number of other conversations that have been ongoing for Ed and me for many, many years. And it always reminds me of the value of being able to have continuity in a relationship. You can have wonderful times with a friend and wonderful conversations, but when that really turns into a relationship, what you find is that there is a ongoing continuousness throughout these conversations. Isn't it amazing how infrequently that happens in business? You think about it, you go into a restaurant many times and it's almost like it's your first time there. What happens when a restaurant manages to keep an ongoing conversation with you, remembering who you are, acknowledging it, remembering things you like? What happens when another store you go into, it manages to have some continuity between your visits? Doesn't it make a difference? It's not what happens most of the time. The obvious example is you call the phone company and you have to give your account number, type it into your keypad on your phone, and then as soon as the operator picks up 10 minutes later after you wait on hold, she asks you your account number again. There is no continuity from one interaction to the next. And of course, if you call back the next day, you're starting all over. You can go through your whole plan with her, and if you don't remember the case number she gave you. And even though it's easy to say, sure, that happened because it's the phone company and they're big, it happens with small places too. So as I go to see my friend Ed and offer him condolences and solace after his father has died, his father's lived to 88, lived a nice, happy life, I think about the continuity in our relationship and how we've had its ongoing conversation going from when we had our first rock and roll band together in 8th grade, all the way through the years of growing up. Even times we didn't see each other in person but managed to keep in touch. We kept an ongoing conversation going on, and to me that's an inspiration to think about how I would like to interact with my customers in a more productive way.